What is going on, the Gamble Factory family? We're back at your boy Z-Rob and Coach T Posey. Ready to talk some Monday Night Football, and we get 2 games tonight. I'm pumped about that. They may be ugly and gross. I think both totals for the game are under 40. But we got football, and it's Monday Night Football. I'm pumped. Last night's game was kind of a drag. We were close on some props, but it was kind of slow. Not much action going in it, so I don't think we're going to get much action in today's games either, but we're getting some lower props. Tyler, how you feeling?
Yeah, the game last night, I felt like we made the pretty good reads, and then they kind of jumped out a little bit in front there and didn't really have to throw it. Tua didn't have to throw it really much anymore. Kind of obviously causing him to miss, Tyreek to miss, and then couldn't quite get there on the other side of the ball. I think we maybe need a possession or 2 more because they were close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, overtime
so
would have been
reads,
huge.
But I think we would have got there because we were literally like a possession away on each of the teams, honestly. And Miami didn't have to do anything their last 3 possessions anyway, so that kind of hurt us finishing out those props. But yeah, I think we were a possession away or 2 from hitting a pretty big slip. But I'm ready to see some garbage ugly football tonight. And hopefully we can make a little bit of money tonight off this garbage-looking game or a couple games.
I agree. So, looks like we got a couple Saints fans in the chat. Oh boy. I hope they lose, honestly. I'm a Falcons fan, so. I don't think they're going to, though. I think they probably have it locked tonight. But let's get started. I think we have that combo prop, I guess, got moved off the optimizer that was there. That was looking like some nice value.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
Yeah. But we do have one on the optimizer that I saw and I looked up right before the stream started. It's that Grant Delpit. We got like minus 130, minus 135. Getting some nice odds across the board on him. He's at 54% to hit. And so I went and looked at his game logs, and I have the wrong guy pulled up. But I went and looked at his game logs, and he's kind of a tackle demon, it's looking like. At 4.5, he's covered this in 13 of his last 18 games. He had 8 last week versus the Bengals. So I'm kind of liking that prop. I love the odds, and I think that's something that we could definitely throw in today. Doesn't require a lot of offense, so I think that'd be a solid prop to have in our slip.
Well, there's one of my props gone. Thank you for that.
Let's go.
Because obviously, I'm a big tackles and assists guy. So Grant Delpit was my number 1 on that today. So
there you go, guys. Tyler says
nuke
it.
I do like that one.
No,
I
I'm
didn't
just.
say nuke it. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to do it. I don't mind. I do like the prop a lot. It's probably actually my favorite prop outside of. I would all assume that you all know what I'm about to say here soon.
I was gonna say I thought
But
something
yeah, I
else
do
was
love
gonna
that
be your
prop.
favorite prop for sure. So
Yeah, the Delpit one's probably my favorite. But number two for me is Kenny Pickett, 30.5 pass attempts. Because as I've been crowned the pass attempt god, I just want to make sure and stay true to form and go back to another one of those pass attempts props, which is the Kenny Pickett 30.5 point line. So last week he threw a ton of passes
yeah,
as his team was playing from a tremendous amount of behindness. And I do think they're not very good at all. So I think they have the potential to be playing from behind in a ton of games this year, leaving him to be able to throw a bunch of passes. Also, I don't think their line is very good, and Najee is just not favored for a lot of carries tonight, and I don't think he ever will be because he's got a career 1.8 yard per carry average, probably a little bit exaggerated, but it's
definitely
just
not
not
good.
very efficient, and their line is not very good. Cleveland's a 2 point favorite, which means essentially they're like 5 to 6 points better than the Steelers because you can't give them a few points for being at home.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think Kenny Pickett 30.5 is probably my second favorite play of the day outside of the Delpit play. He threw 46 times last week was the actual number. I don't know if I mentioned that, and I don't think they'll be playing from that far behind, and the game pace is going to be a tad bit slower.
Hmm.
But 30.5 is just I think a couple too low. I think it should be about 33.5.
Yeah, no, I like it, and I mean you've been on a heater with these pass attempts. I think you've missed one all season, so we're gonna roll with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Um,
And Joe Burrow covered this last week against Cleveland, throwing for 82 yards and in a storm of just garbage rain.
yeah,
So I think the weather will be a little bit better, and I don't think that you're going to throw for 82 yards much again. So 30 and a half, give it to me all day.
yeah, no, I like it for sure. And I think it'd be smart to maybe pair up a receiver with this. We were kind of talking right before the stream started. You were a big Allen Robinson guy. I was thinking Calvin Austin. So I'm not sure how we're going to decipher between that. I definitely don't want to put both of them in a slip since we don't have to, since we got two games tonight.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do they still have Allen Robinson? Yeah, they got him back up. I think he said they might have been off.
yeah,
Um,
it's up.
so I don't know how we're going to decide between that. Maybe we fade it.
We make chat decide.
Yeah, I don't
We're
know.
gonna make chat
That's
decide.
true. Chat. Do you like Allen Robinson or Calvin Austin? I like Calvin Austin because first off, no Deontay Johnson, which is going to help out Allen Robinson and Calvin Austin both. Um, I think Allen Robinson he played a pretty good amount of snaps. Calvin I think he ended up playing around 50% last week after Deontay went out, but I think he was already a starter or he was already right in the mix anyways with Deontay Johnson playing. So he had 6 targets last week. He went 6 catches. He caught all 6 catches and had 37 yards. Not really sure what Allen Robinson did. I think he had a pretty good game also. He had like 8 targets, I think. So
Yeah, 8 targets.
either one, I could be talked into paying. Somebody saying fade, somebody
Yeah,
saying
so he hit
Robinson. So
eight targets, 5 receptions. I'm actually playing his targets are
oh
set to
really?
5, which is honestly way too low. He had 8 last
Oh
week,
yeah, I like that
and
target
I
play.
still, yeah, I think that's the one I'm gonna be playing for him. I don't know which one were you gonna play for Austin. His yards.
I was gonna play his yards. I think that's the only thing he has up. So
Yeah. Okay.
so
Yeah. So for me, it's targets for Robinson is what I was gonna play.
why is his receptions only at 2.5? He's favored pretty heavily over. I don't know. It
Allen
seems
Robinson.
yeah. I figured that'd be like 3.5 or maybe even 4.
It should be a 4.5, I would think, but that's odd. They don't have it on prospects, of course,
No,
but
they don't. So
I think I might have actually played it on sleeper at 2.5 because I think I was like, wait, what? I think this is wrong.
yeah, somebody saying
I just
targets seem to be
don't.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I like that target. I think it's pretty safe to push that. If we think Kenny Pickett's going to throw the ball 31 times, Allen Robinson's going to
Exactly.
be on the field a ton with no Deontay. He's going to be on the field probably most of the time. So I see those 5 targets being really good, at least good push potential. So
Yeah, for sure.
um, I'll go to one that I'm liking a lot now. We got some news. Kendrick Miller, he got ruled out. Um, And we were talking about this actually making it part of our ladder play, but then we were wondering like, all right, if Kendra Miller's back, does he get enough work to hit this? But it's Jamal Williams, 58.5 rush yards. Bijan, he was at 55.5 last night, so it's trending a little bit upwards already. But Bijan and Algier both hit this, I believe, versus Carolina last week. And so I think this week it'll be a little bit easier for Jamal to run against Carolina than it was for the Titans. I think Titans run more of like a pass funnel defense, so it was a little hard for him to run last week. I'd like to play last week too, but I didn't realize Tennessee was going to be so locked down. He had 18 attempts. He had 75% of the snaps last week with Kendry Miller still out. He's going to get to work again. So, I mean, he's projected for 15.5 rush attempts. I don't know if his rush attempts will be better than his rush yards. I don't know, Tyler. How are you feeling about Jamal?
I like, to be honest with you, obviously, I normally go for his go for his rushing attempts just because that's my thing. But I think in this case, I feel a little bit better about going with his rush yards, just like you would.
That's perfect.
So
I
I'm
like
a
to
rush
hear that.
yards guy here.
I like to hear that.
This is not normal for me, so I don't know. It's a new uncharted territory for me, but I am going to go rush yards here. I think the Panthers allowed like 4.3 yards per carry last year. I don't think they got much better. Obviously,
No.
the Falcons shredded them in half last week, and I think with his just strictly volume that he'll get there pretty quickly, and it's already trending in the right direction. It's bumping up as we go, and he's probably going to be the only one to really run the football right now. Who else is even there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who else is going to run the football. And the 3-point favorite.
Tony Jones.
So great game script. Yeah, exactly. He's garbage. And so it's a great game script as well. So I'll take the yards.
All right. Who else are you liking? I got like two more that I'm liking a lot, but I'm gonna let you go just in case I steal one of them.
I got a couple that I like. I don't think I played one of them earlier, but the odds don't really like them, so I'm not probably gonna play it. I like Hayden Hurst in his receptions. It doesn't really correlate with our Bryce Young play, so I'm probably not gonna play it.
Let me put you on something actually with Hayden Hurst. I don't know if you looked at it. I'm surprised. I kind of figured you would since you like these type of props. His 4.5 targets. So he got 7 targets last week, 5 receptions. I think he's just kind of a safety blanket for Bryce Young. Because I was considering his receptions also, but since he has to hit 4 to go over that, he really only needs one more target to be able to hit 5 reception targets. So I definitely think he could have 3 catches for 5 targets and not hit his reception prop, but be able to hit his target prop. I like his reception targets a lot personally. I played it in a slip before stream, so.
Yeah, I think it bumped down to 3 on Prizepicks. It's pretty heavily favored under 3.5. I took this last week on Sleeper. It was 2.5. So easy hit for me there. Or I think I actually played it on Prizepicks at 2.5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's a safety blanket, and he's really good. A really good safety blanket. And Bryce we think he's going to go under on yards, which means he has to go find somebody underneath. And that's a Hayden Hurst kind of target. Yeah, I mean, he even last year at a different team, like he started to eat up the targets throughout the year. So he's earning the trust of his quarterback. He's a really quarterback-friendly guy, really trustworthy. And so to me, I think the targets is a really good play. So that you don't have to take any odds account. And if I already like to play with the receptions, even with the odds being off, then that 4.5 targets is really good.
Perfect.
That was not on there last time I looked, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I think it got added a little bit late because when I was looking to make a slip like an hour or something before stream, it popped up. And I was like, man, that looks really good. I'm surprised it's not at 5, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and then we are also talking about Bryce Young. Tyler alluded to it. We think he's going to go under today. New Orleans has a really good defense. They have a better defense than the Falcons should. I mean, I don't know. Falcons, they haven't been giving up the air yards, even to Jordan Love, who knows how he's going to be. But he didn't give up the air yards or the passing yards to Jordan Love this week. So I don't know. Maybe Falcons are renew on defense. But Bryce Young only had 146 versus the Falcons last week, and the Saints defense should be significantly better. I think the Saints, yeah, they only gave up 198 to Ryan Tannehill last week. And I believe that was a solid game script for Tanny to have to throw the ball, if I remember correctly. So I think Bryce Young continues to struggle a little bit against this tough Saints defense. It'll be more of a grinded out game, in my opinion. So we both like the under. We've talked about it last night and this morning. So
Yeah, somebody asked about Bryce Young's rush attempts at 2.5. I'm not trusting that prop at all.
yeah, it's
Although I could very much see it.
I do kind of I can see him having to run the ball a little bit more.
Yeah,
2.5
yeah,
seems real low. I mean, he's definitely a very capable quarterback of running the ball, but
yeah. I don't know how I feel about that prop. And if I can't find it, I don't have a good feeling. I'm just gonna fade it. Even though I do kind of like at first glance, I like the hill. I have I guess an inkling there to go over, but I don't play it. I'm good. I'm out.
somebody's saying Bryce Young interceptions as well. I think that was favored
Yeah,
actually. I do kind of like
yeah.
that.
It was popping. Yeah, it kind of popped up on the optimizer earlier.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I
I'm surprised
also
it's still
like that
not
one.
minus 120 on one book and it goes all the way to minus 139. So it seems to be about average minus 130 on multiple books.
Yeah, it's pretty good prop, honestly.
Yeah, it's still on the optimizer. It's at 53%, minus 144 in Pinnacle also.
Yes,
So
yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I like that one too. Like New Orleans defense and stuff,
he threw
and
two
he's gonna
last week
throw.
versus the
He's gonna
Falcons. So
yeah, yeah. Rookie quarterbacks like that tend to throw a lot. I mean, I'm good with that one too. I think I like both of them. I don't
do
know if you want to
you
follow
want
the odds or follow our heart.
you want to take the interception prop? I kind of like it.
I do like it. I do too.
It's nice not having it
No
over.
bets
Also,
available.
that's six props right there. We can look at
Oh,
some
we're at six
questions.
currently. Wow.
Yeah, that's six. Um,
Yeah. So another one I played earlier was Raheem Shaheed.
yeah, he's a stud. I like him.
I like his where he's heading. So those of you asked about him, I think a couple people asked in the chat earlier about him. I like him a lot tonight. I do think he'll cover those yards. I loved his. I think I played his 2.5 receptions on sleeper, and that's perfectly fine. And I played his yards and a slip on prospect, so both are fine. Honestly, I like both of them a lot.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great prop. Just I wouldn't play it with Jamal Williams rush yards in the same prop.
No, it doesn't really correlate very well.
What else we got in here? Pickens catches. What's he at? 3.5 receptions. That
I think he's probably favored to go under. Yeah, he's minus 130 ish on the under.
yeah. So that'd be a fade for us. We don't really like going against the odds, though. I'm kind of surprised that he's favored
Yeah.
under. Maybe just because the game's being
Well,
kind of
I
gross
think
today.
he's got the. I think he'll have the stud cornerback over there on him, Denzel Ward.
That's probably has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I would think so. And then leaving Robinson, Calvin Austin open for less of a stud.
Do we like Sanders and Jamal Williams under? No. If anything, we definitely like Jamal Williams over. He'll be like the main running back.
Yeah.
And Sanders, I mean, he had a pretty solid week last week. They're probably gonna try and run the ball. They're gonna prefer to run the ball instead of passing it, if they can.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just how much are they gonna be able to if they get behind or not. I actually kind of like Sanders over a little bit, but not enough to take it.
Yeah, it's I'm the same way. Somebody said a lot of targets.
Oh dang, Grant Delpit
It's
just got
8.
bumped.
No.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
that's unfortunate.
That was a really good prop, but I'm not gonna play it at 5. I don't want to play the bump.
Uh,
I have one that
that really sucks.
we haven't talked about.
I guess prospects tuned in.
Yeah, they must have. But we haven't talked
Yeah.
about this guy who's probably the best player on the slate, Mr. Nick Chubb.
Oh yeah.
Somebody brought him up. Actually, has a anytime touchdown prop. I like it. I could definitely. I would be surprised if he doesn't score a touchdown tonight. But I was actually thinking his rush yards. Let's see, last week, Christian McCaffrey ran for 152 yards versus Pittsburgh, and Chubb has covered this in 12 of his last 18 games. I believe he had 106 last week versus Cincinnati. So
In the pouring rain.
in the pouring rain, yeah. So I think it's a solid prop. He's projected to he has 17.5 rush attempts. So I mean, I don't know. So 81 seems kind of low to me.
Didn't we play that in our ladder? Oh, no, we didn't. We tripping. We almost played that in the ladder anyway.
Yeah, we did talk about it.
Yeah, we were about to play in the ladder. I like that one too.
300 placed the Delpit play before the bump. Smart man. We were too slow.
That is. What's up, Bill Murphy? My guy. Bill Murphy is in this chat all the time.
I like
love it.
Chubb and Najee combined rush yards. The thing is like, can you trust Najee to be able to help Chubb get there?
I can't trust Najee. Yeah, I'm not trusting Najee to go anywhere over anything. I feel like he's gonna have. I feel like if you gave this man 30 carries, he might get 58 yards.
Seriously, like he's so inefficient.
So inefficient. His line, I don't think he gets any help from his offensive line.
Mm-mm.
And we also like Pickett's over passing attempts, which does not correlate very well with Najee. So I'm out on that one personally.
I agree. Somebody said Pickett pass attempts. You already know we got it.
Oh yeah.
Tyler was not going to let us not have that prop.
Yeah, we locked that one in, boys.
We got anything
else? Place the slip now, boys.
Which money line you go with?
Place the slip where everything gets bumps. Oh shoot, he's talking about money lines.
All right, I can already tell you the Browns, they're going to beat the Steelers, and the Saints are going to beat the Panthers. Yeah. It's easy tonight.
Yeah, that's true. Tonight is a little easier than normal.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta get this slip locked in, man.
Yeah. I also need to figure out a way to better display the full screen or full slip on this. I don't know if there is. Young pass attempts. Olave reception targets. We didn't talk about that, did we? What's it at?
No, I think we should.
8 reception targets. That's too low.
Like 8. Yeah. Yeah, I think I kind of really like that one too.
Yeah. So, I mean, he had 10 last week. I think he got hurt in the third quarter and missed a little bit of time. I'm not sure how much or if any really he missed, but I remember him getting hurt last week. But he came back in the game and got like 4 more catches. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's a freaking stud.
Pickens receptions.
But it doesn't really correlate.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Who? Oh, Go ahead.
I was saying Pickens receptions with no.
With our Jamal.
We're overlapping. Pickens receptions at 3.5 no Deontay. Yeah, we kind of like Calvin Austin and Allen Robinson a little bit more. Those two benefit more with Deontay being out than George Pickens does.
Mm-hmm. 4 or 5. I mean, he covered this 6 times last year with who the heck ever his quarterback was. Olave's targets, that is.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was Jameis
Winston / Andy Dalton /
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. Yeah.
We got any Taysom Hill props?
No. Dude, if you say the name Taysom Hill around me one more time.
We hate Taysom Hill. If he had an anytime touchdown prop, that'd be a nuke. You already know he's scoring on a primetime slate. Make everybody mad.
Oh yeah.
Really
what are we rolling with here, boys?
All right. We're gonna go over to slip, and then if somebody would be so kind to type it in the chat for everybody, that would be huge. I know we got somebody who's actually deaf that comes and tunes into the podcast, so R2 live stream, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're gonna lock it in. Let me lock it in on my phone real quick too. We got Kenny Pickett over 30.5 pass attempts. Let me find that thing. Got it. All right. Allen Robinson. Good correlation play. 5 targets. Jamal Williams over 58.5 rush yards. Hayden Hurst 4.5 reception targets. We got Bryce Young throwing a pick. Where's it at? And then we have Nick Chubb for 81.5 rush yards. Got all overs for you on this fully offense-capable slate. Chat, what are we thinking? You liking it? Got anything else? If somebody really likes the A-Rob prop, that's good to hear.
Yes, IC Mac. We are all pissed at Brees Hall and the Jets. Really, it's the Jets because they wouldn't even throw him out there. Didn't even use him, man.
I woke up mad at the Jets, dude.
Yeah, that was just a ridiculous way to drain a 25x from us.
Dalvin Cook and Brees Hall combined for 8 rush attempts yesterday.
Oh my god,
I don't know what the
that's
Jets were doing,
absolutely
man.
atrocious.
They just woke
Yeah,
up
they don't either.
and
They don't either.
decided that they weren't going to play football today.
Yeah, I think they were like, all right, where's Aaron Rodgers? And then they realized, I guess we don't have him. So let's just make up something and let Zach Wilson throw the football to the other team a lot.
He said he's going to try and make a target return for the playoffs. I don't know how he's going to do that off of an Achilles tear at 40 years old, but
The Achilles tear at 48 years old is ridiculous. He's going to come out here on a wheelchair, electric wheelchair. He's not going to flying around and still be better than Zach Wilson.
I was about to say, could it be much worse than Zach Wilson? People were talking him up all offseason too, how he's going to be so much improved, man. And that Dallas defense could just be really nasty as well, because they shut out the Giants. But
Oh, Bill. You see Bill Murphy said Brees Hall tweeted 4 footballs.
did he really?
Yesterday.
That's
I didn't
hilarious.
see that. That's awesome.
I know he was
Oh, that's
pissed,
awesome.
dude. I know he had to be pissed. What about TJ Watt's tackle prop? Let's look at it. Why did it not?
Well, I'm
that type
so glad. I'm so glad he said that. That's so funny. 3. It's at 3 right now.
Why can I not find him?
Prop itself is. Just type in his last name.
I did. Let me refresh Prizepicks. Maybe it got added.
He had 5 tackles last week against the 49ers. He covered 3 every single game last year, except 1.
I don't know what's going on with my Prizepicks, but it's definitely not wanting to load.
So he covered it in 9 out of 10 games, or pushed. Like he pushed 1, 2, 3, 4, pushed 4 of the 10, and then covered in 5 of the other ones he did. So 3 is a pretty safe number in terms of what he's done production wise.
That's crazy. What's his odds?
It's under 3.5.
Okay, so he'd be heavily favored over 2.5. So it's a really good push prop.
Yeah, it's a great push prop, and he's obviously liable to wreak havoc at any point of time, and especially on a team that's gonna like run the ball as much as Cleveland is, he'll be in there and be ready to tackle. It's actually a pretty good correlation prop to Nick Chubb if you take his rush attempts. And we do think he'll get quite a bit of rush attempts.
Appreciate my man David Doncic, my man Luca's brother. He put in a slip in chat, so I appreciate that, my man. Somewhat higher number to push, but it should be a close game. Car projected at 30 to 31 pass attempts. Yeah, I don't mind it. Just don't put Jamal Williams rushing yards probably in there with it. It's just not correlated well.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that's correlated with those passing. If any passing attempts in there are correlated properly.
Yeah, the Saints are so weird on offense sometimes, man. It's hard to kind of project them. Like any Deshaun props.
Yeah, don't be. I've thought about his over passing attempts props personally, but I just kind of faded it overall since he sold me so bad last week.
27.5 is so low.
It is very low. So I'm fine with that one. I do think he'll throw it. It's just a matter of if the Steelers can keep it close at all. I think if the Steelers keep it close, then he'll hit that pretty easily. So if you do that slip, I would make a separate slip and try to correlate it a little bit with like somehow the Steelers are actually able to keep it close.
Juwan Johnson's, we're sleeping on him. Our people are sleeping on him. Juwan Johnson, I like him. He should have a game. His numbers seem right, and we're kind of thinking that the Saints don't really have to pass as much. So it's funny. I like so many of these Saints pass catchers. I mean, I like Olave. I like Shaheed. Juwan Johnson looks interesting. You could almost.
He's probably my favorite target, but yeah.
See, Olave is probably my favorite. His receiving yards. I liked him at 4.5 receptions on Sleeper, but it got bumped. But yeah, I like them. I like them all. It's hard to know. Like, you wouldn't think all these guys are going to eat against the Panthers. I don't think they're not. Their total's not high enough. So
I'm pretty positive Derek Carr's passing yard is only like 238, so
yeah,
it's not even very high itself. Yeah, 235.
yeah, that's pretty low. You
So
could
it's
231 actually. So
oh wait, what on Prizepicks?
yeah, I just refreshed it. It's at
Oh,
231.
they uh, on the optimizer it says 235, so it's like trending downward as well. So
Mhm.
probably not. I think that probably bodes well for a Jamal Williams pick rather than any of the receivers.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, if you're doing the Saints, it just looks like you want to do one of them and one of them only in the slip.
but you could, if you wanted to. I mean, there's definitely stacking options here if you wanted to make a game stack. I'm not going to do it, but if you think that they are having to air out the ball a little bit more, 231's a um, low prop for a
Very
quarterback.
low. Yeah. Very low. And it just takes a little bit to get a prop like that to hit, especially with the stacking
Michael,
options. If the game goes perfectly, just to not script, I guess.
somebody say Michael Thomas receptions.
That Bryce Young interception.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, that Bryce Young interception prop is moving up to optimizer too, so it's coming up a little bit.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, oh, yeah. Speaking of, this is something you guys see a lot. It's the optimizer. I don't know. Tyler, do you still have an affiliate link? I know I do. It's in the description below. So if you want to click on it and check it out.
I have one somewhere.
But yeah, the optimizer is huge. It helps us find really good value or favorable value for our slips. So it's something that we both utilize in our research. But no, that Bryce Young interception's 54.25 now. It's trending upwards. That looks like we're getting some good value. It'll probably be removed from Prizepicks here. Not too long, the way they remove things.
Definitely think so.
Deshaun Watson rushing, not bad. Yeah, I kind of consider that. How much is he going to have to run the ball? So he crushes against Cincinnati, but I don't think he ran the ball too many times, if I remember correct. He just kind of got some big chunk plays.
I think he got 4 or 5 off for 46 or something like that.
Did you see the Olave Thielen combo steal this morning? PP had it at 119. What's it at now?
No.
Oh, it dropped to 101. Wow. I must not have been awake yet. That was a good snag if you got that, Zach Palmer. Chubb rushing and receiving.
Right. Yeah, I'll be right there.
Tyler's working.
I'll be right there. Give me 1 second.
Tyler is looking like duty may be calling for him. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this out. I'm gonna take care of a problem real quick.
All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. So we'll probably post a slip maybe on Twitter for this. We're gonna let Tyler go back to his day job. So appreciate you guys hopping in, hanging out with us. Let's cash for 25x tonight. We'll see you later. We'll probably be back Thursday for the Thursday game. So do us a favor before you leave real quick. Make sure you